cloud. Okay, let me share. Okay, I'm sharing, yes.
Yeah, sharing.
Okay. Let's see. Welcome, everybody. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Michaela,
You.
everyone give me okay, I'm like, is there any feedback there? Or am I talking to like the abyss here? Um, Happy Monday, everybody. Today we are going to be talking a little bit about the fresh season, about how we can approach just daily lifestyle habits and kind of like piggyback off of this, fall and back to school season. I've had quite a few clients actually these past 2 weeks just tell me little things like, oh, the weather is finally cooling down and I'm looking forward to doing XYZ more, right? Like just being outside or going for more walks or being able to, get outside for lunch when it's not 100 degrees. Um, and I think it's a really kind of fall and the change of the seasons is a really natural and fun time just to kind of review things that are going well that you want to incorporate more of. Um, and it's almost like going back to habit stacking, right? And it's almost like that momentum of change. I kind of want to like piggyback on it, if that makes sense. So the newsletter that you all got yesterday is just kind of talking about some ways that we can take advantage of the change in the seasons. And for a lot of us with school age kids, just the back to school season. I know that, and again, I'm speaking for those that have kids. There's always so much excitement around summer, right? Like the flexibility in schedule and like the more daylight hours. And we get super excited about it. And then when the end of August comes around, I know I'm like, oh, I am ready to get back to a routine. I'm ready for my
What
kids
were
to
they
have
wearing?
a regular schedule and so that I can focus back on whether it's me personally or work or what have you. I think we all do well when we have kind of a regular routine going on. Whether you're a routine person or not, I am. So that's just kind of what I've been
I
feeling
know.
lately. Oops, hang on, I'm gonna mute somebody. There we go. So all right, if we kind of come down here, the first thing I wanted to go over and make sure everyone is on the same page is, I know the HF team as a whole, we talk a lot about habit stacking, and most of you, I'm sure, know what that means, but for those that don't, to me, this is like one of the best life hacks ever. And habit stacking is when you take something that's a habit, but is so incredibly routine that you don't even think of it as a habit. So my kind of like foundational example is brushing your teeth, right? We've all hopefully been brushing our teeth twice a day since we were children. And at least for me, it's not something I think about anymore, right? It's like I go to the bathroom at the end of the day and I brush my teeth and I wash my face and then I go to bed. And same thing in the morning. It's that like the first thing I do when I get up in the morning is I brush my teeth. Um, and whether or not we know that's a habit, right? It's something that you do on a routine basis. And so when we take those foundational habits that are so implemented in our lives that like we don't think about them that much, those are great to piggyback new habits on top of, right? And it's like that piggyback that is called habit stacking. So for some of my clients, say they start taking a new medication or supplement, I always tell them, it's easy to forget that, right? Because it's not a habit. And so I recommend habit stacking. So like physically putting your supplements or your pills or whatever, I would put it like right next to my toothbrush, right? You're not going to forget to brush your teeth, so you're probably going to see your supplements there, right? And then seeing is going to remind yourself, oh, I've got to take my supplements. All right. So I know that sounds simple. It really is. It doesn't have to be complicated. Another one is, and I think this is in my email here, um, is drinking water, right? So I know we encourage a lot of our clients to be really well hydrated. But the rush of the morning, you're getting up, maybe you've got kids to take care of, you've got to get yourself ready, breakfast, get people in the car, out the door. Like mornings can be really, really chaotic. However, a lot of us will drink something in the morning, like tea or coffee or Perk Energy, right? And I know many of you do not forget to drink your morning caffeine. Right? Like there's no way I'm forgetting to do that. So I have it stack on it, right? I will often like fill my coffee cup full of water. And I can't put coffee in it until I drink it. So I drink my water and then like I press the button on my coffee machine. And that way I'm using that habit of drinking my coffee every morning to kind of fuel something else that is a goal for the rest of the day. Um, so I don't know, maybe the coaches in a few minutes I'm sure we all have habit stacks that are more life hacks for us that we can't live without, and have helped introduce new habits. So we'll go over them um, in a little bit. Um, so right here is just talking a little bit about the science of habit stacking. Our brain loves routines. So when we pair new habits with an existing one, we increase the likelihood that those are actually going to be executed upon. We talk a lot about, goals. Well, goals, we have to have a plan to achieve those goals. We've got to have a plan so that we can execute those. Um, and habits are part of that. So when we increase the likelihood of success and linking like the way our brain thinks with things that are already in place every single day, you increase the chance that you will execute well on those. All right. So 6 tips for making the most of the kind of the change in the seasons, right? And starting with new habits. Um, for me, it always goes back to sleep, more or less. I'm a big time sleeper. I treasure my sleep. I don't get in the way of my sleep or I'll have it out for you, to be honest with you. But fall, with the weather getting cooler, the days getting shorter, of course, it's a great time to start to work on your bedtime routines. And this can look so different for everyone. There are lots of things we've, of course, talked about over, several weeks in these calls about, having your room very dark and having it cool and getting away from TVs and phones and wearing blue light blockers. And all of those are awesome. But I would encourage, like, if you're starting fresh, like, pick one thing. And it's okay if it's like the low hanging fruit, right? If you're someone who likes to check things off the list, awesome. So pick one thing and then try to habit stack it, right? So for me, I am going to try and get my blue light blocking glasses on a little bit earlier now that the days are a little bit shorter. I usually wait until after I put my kids to bed and like I've cleaned up in the bathroom and I'm getting in bed to put my blue light blockers on. Well, the habit that I'm going to start stacking that with is when my kids go upstairs in our house to get ready for bed, that's going to be like my trigger blue light blocking glasses, right? It's not just getting started on bedtime for them. It's going to get started on bedtime for me as well. They always go upstairs. That's where their bedrooms are. So that's not going to change. And so if I can piggyback onto that, it's going to help me have just a higher percentage of execution. All right. But it doesn't have to be blue light blockers, right? This could be as simple as picking up a new book or even a magazine, like a trashy magazine is great. And you may want to set the goal of reading for 5 minutes before you go to bed. Pick something that you are interested in and maybe is a little intriguing, because that also helps us execute a lot better. And start there. If you're working one-on-one with a coach, Let them know what habits you're changing or what you kind of are looking to work towards. And we can provide a lot more supports there as well. All right. Habit stacks your morning. So this is something I talked about in terms of like drinking water before coffee. Something else that you could do is you could habit stack your coffee with outside time, right? And just make a habit of, well, I've got this warm cup of coffee and I'm going to go step outside while I drink it. Even if it's cold, wherever you live, the cold exposure first thing in the morning, just like being able to see the natural sunlight, can do just wonders overall. And so there are kind of lots of different directions that you could take some of these habit stacks and different initiatives that you want to take in the morning to start your day off well. All right. And that kind of links into like getting outside daily. It's getting easier for a lot of us because it's not so darn hot outside and not so miserable. To me, fall is that wonderful time where it's not so hot, but it's also not yet so cold. And it also feels like that season, at least for me here in the Midwest, goes really quickly. We get a glimmer of fall. It just doesn't last very long. And so just being able to take advantage of getting outside is awesome, right? And it can be little things like drinking your coffee outside. Maybe you decide to have a fun picnic for dinner, right, with your family. Like just put a blanket outside, whether it's on a front porch or sitting on some stairs, or if you have a yard, great. And break out some paper plates and have dinner outside. Just change it up a little bit while you can to take advantage of maybe some nicer weather where you live. And if that's not in the cards, as coaches, one of our favorite hacks is rolling down your window when you're in the car, right? If you have a commute to work and you're in the car, roll that baby down, right? And get some of that, not only that fresh air, but some of that sunlight, even if it's cloudy. That can be really helpful before a long day in the office and being inside. All right. Okay, stress management. This is a big one. And I think that a lot of these things above that I've already talked about, not only are they good for, circadian rhythm and for optimizing your hormones, but almost indirectly, they can help you manage your stress as well, right? So there's been a lot of research showing that the more time spent outside and feeling kind of connected with nature and with earth, can help us manage and reduce our stress a little bit. And so those are kind of some indirect ways, but you can also pick up some new habits for things like, journaling, taking some time out just to do some breathing, a mindfulness or like a gratefulness practice. And that can be, again, something formal, like writing in a journal or using like a gratefulness prompt every day. Or something that tends to work a little bit better for me is I'm an informal, mindful practicer. And it tends to just to be a little bit more natural for me throughout my day to notice things, whether it's outside or in my home or with my kids or with work, that I really enjoy doing or that I'm grateful for or that, brings me some sort of joy or energizes me. And just being able to kind of notice those things and just acknowledge them can be a really big tool in helping you manage some stress, right? And adding some gratefulness into your life. So again, this could be another way of habit stacking something. Or you could just be someone who feels a little bit more at home doing something more informally kind of throughout the day. But it does take practice, and the more you practice with it, the more I think that will naturally kind of occur. And then prioritizing self-care. So this can look different for anyone and everyone. This could be, yes, like a yoga or stretching, or, or warm bath, There are so many like yin or restorative yoga classes you can do on YouTube. You can even Google like 5 minute restorative yoga, right? And 5 minutes can go such a long way. Maybe it's time for you and your partner to schedule 10 minutes together, right, at the end of the day, just to talk and catch up. I know that I'm sometimes a culprit of going through our days so quickly and being so exhausted at the end of the day that I crash. And then sometimes my husband and I don't have time to connect. So that can be self-care. It could also be in the more, I would think, almost classic way of thinking about it. Go get a manicure, schedule a massage, or a walk by yourself on a Saturday morning, just some like time away from the daily grind, I think can be really, really helpful. So just some kind of high level ideas here that might spark some inspiration or some thought towards what all of you might want to use this change in season to kind of help make some progress towards any of your goals. Some ideas maybe for habit stacking, or really just kind of, again, piggybacking on something else and using that momentum. Um, Another way that we can do this is that we have our fall fat loss cohorts that starts next week. And so this is one of those things where it's a group, so it's some additional community and accountability. And sometimes that's all it takes to start some new habits and to start some new momentum towards a goal. Some of us do better with that additional accountability or community. Some of us are good kind of doing it on our own or maybe one-on-one with a coach. Um, and so the fall fat loss cohort, Sam, remind me, when are we doing signups for that? Through like, when's the last day?
15th, I think at like 5 p.m. this Saturday we'll close it because
Okay.
then we will send out the email to everyone probably at 6 p.m. Just shortly after for their macro form. So then you'll fill that out and we will start setting everyone's macros so that they can be ready to go ideally by our prep week kickoff call, which is going to be Tuesday at noon. Um, we'll just kind of set macros as we get them though. So if you don't submit your macro form till Tuesday morning, it'll probably be Wednesday. So that is what prep week will be, is just getting everyone's macros set up, doing the initial kickoff call, understanding metabolism, and Q&A call for the cohort. And then everyone can shop for groceries. If you're doing workouts and you sign up for HF Physique, you can get familiar with that. I think most of you are doing HF Physique, so that won't be an issue, but kind of get familiar with the next cycle of programming, our fall cycle, and feel really comfortable with tracking food, start to practice that. We will answer questions as you do start to practice that, as you will have them and give strategies. And then the official week 1 will be the 23rd. So each week we will provide education and also discuss a new habit, just like Kacey talked about. This is a really great time to focus and prioritize habits. Honestly, even joining the fat loss cohort, if you weren't wanting to be in a calorie deficit right now, you could get maintenance macros and work on all of these habits that are foundational habits that are going to allow you to feel your best, which is extra important in a fat loss phase in a calorie deficit because you're adding stress. So our goal is to teach you everything you need to know so that you can be in a fat loss, in a calorie deficit, and have it feel manageable, have it feel like something you can adhere to, have it not be stop start and just kind of an endless cycle of that. So that is what we want to teach you in the cohort. And you have until Saturday to sign up. It is first come, first serve. We're going to close it at 150 people, and we sold out last time. So just keep that in mind too. If you want to do it, don't wait, and you can sign up on the email.
And it coincides with a new phase of our programming, right, Michaela, which is exciting.
Yes, we have the next cycle of HF Physique, the fall cycle. which will start next Monday. So this is week 6 for everyone that's doing the summer cycle. Hopefully you guys are all feeling very strong. This is like PR week, or just like hang on because you can't progress anymore week. So share your wins with us. We love seeing you guys complete workouts. In fact, actually, I've been wanting to do a giveaway for those of you that have been long-time members. So I'm gonna think that through, but I'm gonna give away either one of these Red Shine Hydro Jugs or one of the stainless steel shaker bottles. And I want to do it. I really want, I don't know. I really want to see who's been our like longest member in the app, who's completed the most workouts. So I think that would be really fun to see. So maybe that's what we'll do is this week, everybody tag me on Instagram, tag Hungry Fitness and Hungry Fitness team with like your latest workout where it says how many you've done. And we will just see. Well, I think we'll see who's done the most and give it to that person. And then
It'd be
maybe we'll
fun.
give another random one away. So that way, if you've only done 200, like there's still a chance of winning. But I know we have some people that have done over 500 workouts, so it would be really fun to see that. So I'll post about that today on social media. So in case you forget, and then tag us, and I think I'll announce the winner for that on Monday with the new cycle of programming is what I'll do. So you have a week to tag us with your workouts, how many you've done, any testimonials, and we'll just randomly select a winner from those tags throughout the week.
That'll be fun. It's exciting. I know I've definitely see some 500 or more workouts.
So my mom just tagged, she was just messaging me last week. She's like, I'm almost to 300 workouts. Does that mean I earned something? We're working on it. We're working on getting things because I would love to be able to send.
Is that her way of being like a friendly hint?
So my mom is nagging me more in probably in 2025, we'll have some sort of award system that we create because that's been something I've wanted to do forever. And I think we're kind of starting to figure that out now with having done merch and just like it's just a lot of things that it takes, I'm realizing, to be able to ship out products and have that going and have it go well and be a regular thing we can do. So just know that that's coming as well. So more than anything, we love all of you members that have trusted us and continue to do programming with us and continue to show up for calls and want to learn more every week. And just that you're here in this community means the world to us. So we're grateful to have you here. And hopefully, you can ask questions in the app and we are here to answer those. And this cohort that we're launching is ultimately a way, our goal at Hungry Fitness is to be able to make our programs accessible in some capacity to everyone, so everyone can work with us in some capacity and move towards your goals in the direction that you want to be going. And I know that one-on-one coaching isn't feasible for everyone, and nor is custom programming. And so that's a big part of why we created HF Physique and have the $20 subscription programming, and why we have macro consults for $60, just so that you can work with our team in the capacity that fits your lifestyle and your budget. So this fall fat loss cohort is just another extension of that. We wanted to provide something that was affordable and accessible, obviously not to everyone, but to as many as possible, where we can still provide a high quality level of coaching for each of you and help you achieve your goals. And especially if one-on-one coaching isn't an option for you right now. So the timing is really nice. This is a good time of year to just come into your habits, with the weather kind of making that more possible and schedules making that a little more possible. So we wanted to take advantage of that with this group cohort. So if you have any questions, ask them on the app. And we're excited to have you. Thank you, Kacey. Does anyone want to add anything on habits? Just on.
I was about to say, I'm going to put our coaches that want to share on the spot. Who has their favorite habit stack?
Ooh, I love that.
I do. I have a good one.
What's yours, Autumn?
Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm terrible at taking supplements. Terrible. Like I can't stay on track with it. So the one thing I have to be consistent with, I don't have to be, but I really love to stay consistent with creatine. So obviously every day I drink a 40 ounce, I don't have my thing, but a 40 ounce thing of water. And the second I mix my LMNT, I put a scoop of creatine in it. And that's like the only thing that keeps me consistent with keeping my creatine in every day is mixing my creatine in with my LMNT. That's the one thing that I can think of off the top of my head.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Have mine in my first cup of coffee.
I know,
Agreed.
same, with my Curd energy.
And I can't do that because I like to drink coffee and then I taste the creatine. I can't do that.
I don't
Yeah.
taste it. I
Yeah,
actually,
I
but
don't think I tasted either, but I've heard
Oh.
people can.
yeah, it depends because I had one before where I could like not taste it, but I could feel it, like if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
But with the one I'm using now, no, I'm not feeling it at all. I don't think you can get it in the US though, because I mentioned the brand to a client and she couldn't find it. So I think it's exclusive for Norway.
Yeah, I can't do it in the coffee. I don't know why. It just ruins the coffee for me.
So good for you for
Yeah.
finding what works.
Yeah.
That's great. with
Yeah,
your
I mean,
exactly.
that's so dumb and simple, but that's just the one
No,
thing I do
you
every
need to get
day.
that.
But those are the things that work, the things
Yeah.
that you don't have to think about or overanalyze. Like if you feel
Mhm.
like it's too simple, it's probably just
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I
had
have
it in
tried
my
my creatine is really easy. My nighttime supplements have gotten hard for me. Like they're just always hard for me. I don't know. I just don't think about taking things at night. And I have just paired, like when I go to turn the lights off in the kitchen, I grab my fish oil and my magnesium glycinate. Those are the two that I take at night. And I have been like, we're like going on 2 months here. So that's pretty good
Yeah.
for me because
Yeah.
Good job.
really
Good job.
half the time Craig will bring them to me because I was like so forgetful and he is on it with his nightly supplements. But I'm like, no, I can do it. I don't want to rely on him bringing them to me. So I've been doing that. And then also when we finish dinner and I clean up the kitchen, like kind of before I put kids to bed, I will put my blue light blocking glasses on. So it's kind of paired with not a habit I love to do, but a habit I have to do.
Mhm.
And honestly, my blue light blocking glasses, maybe they triggered the cleanup. I don't know, but those are something that the benefit was so quick for me with those that I don't have to like try to pair them with something.
Oh, interesting.
I
Yeah.
feel like I need that now. Like when the sun is setting, my body is like, everything's harsh. I need my blue light blocking glasses. I don't know if anyone else is that way, but it's almost like the equivalent of like putting something cozy on. Like I have to put them on. They are enjoyable. So that's an easy one for me. But I know initially I've had people that are like, I don't, when do you put them on? Where do you have them? How do you like, I can never remember to put them on. So whatever that is, we're kind of for me, it's like as I put the house to bed, I put those on too.
For me, it's like like it can be dinner. Like when I eat dinner, I will like, or after my dinner, I will put them on. It depends a little bit on the like midsummer. I won't do that, and it depends on like kind of what I'm doing. But otherwise, I feel like that's a good pair for me. Like when I'm eating dinner, because I don't mind either having them on. So if I'm putting them on an hour before I need to, like I would rather have them on than not. If especially like now working nights at the screen, I will definitely wear them. But yeah, I think like dinner is that's something that I tell my clients as well. Like just pair, or if if you have a dog and you have a nighttime walk with your dog or a post-dinner walk with your dog, then putting them on when you get back inside can be a really good idea because potentially that's something you're doing on the daily, right? So a good
Yeah.
suggestion as
I
well,
was just
think.
saying, I was just noticing, so there's someone who commented, blue light glasses tend to give me a headache and not sure why. And I've actually come to think of it, I think I had one other client that experienced some of that. I would definitely try a different type of glasses then. Um, oh, she has the type that goes over prescription glasses.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody else has experienced that. I would try
Maybe it's
different.
making her glasses too heavy. And it's like,
Right, and I can
Yeah.
kind of understand that, right? Because you're looking through two different lenses, even though one is only prescription. Um, in that case, like try a different kind. If those definitely don't work, then I would go old school and just try and really dim all the lights in your house if that's possible, and just try to stay off of screens and away from your phone and TV. I know a lot of us talk about our blue light blocking glasses. We love them. But that doesn't mean it has to be everybody's go-to. It doesn't
No.
have to be everyone's solution. So thank you for your question, Ramona. If you,
I'm gonna
yeah, no
send
TV and
you
trying not to read on an iPad. Yeah, and I think that it's okay for you to be like, yep, that's what works for me, and that's what I can do. And definitely don't, be too hard on yourself because you can't, or your glasses aren't jiving with you. I think that's okay too.
For
I just
sure.
sent the link. I don't know, Ramona, if you have that type. I'm pretty sure those are the ones that Julie on our team will wear. They look like it.
They look like
They're
science classes.
Yeah,
yeah.
my son has those as well. He also use prescription, but he also have these big ones. He hasn't said anything yet, so
He hasn't said they bother him. So
working
that could
well.
be an option
Yeah.
too, depending on like which ones you have, maybe trying a different option too. So
Or you have those clip-ons as well, like as you have with sunglasses, where you can just clip on, and they shouldn't at least weigh any. Yeah, I've
Oh,
seen
I
that.
haven't seen those, Henrietta.
Yeah, those exist. I've seen it. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
look that up. Yeah, interesting.
Okay, well, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to the call. And as always, if you guys have questions or things you want to talk about, feel free to message your coach or post to the app.
Everyone, have a great week.
Yeah.
Have a good week.
Bye.